going to talk about a piece of land that has had everybody talking over the weekend. It has been one of the most speculated plots undeveloped in Dubai, the very large patch of land around the Jebel Ali Racecourse, which now has a master plan attached to it. ARM Holding has tied up with Bjarke Ingels Group to create a mega project just minutes off the Sheikh Zayed Road. And we have the Chief Development Officer of ARM in the studio with us, Elaine Kallas. Elaine, thank you so much for coming.
Good morning, Brandy. Thank you for having us on your show.
Now, ARM may not be a name that everybody knows, so tell us, who is ARM Holding?
Sure. So ARM stands for the initials of His Highness Sheikh Ahmad bin Rashid Al Maktoum. It's a private investment firm that operates in many sectors across real estate, education, technology, capital markets, and we are big supporters of art as well. So we sponsor art events such as Art Dubai. We are rooted in Dubai as well, committed to shaping its future. Dubai is a constantly evolving market, and we strive as well to continue following the trend. We are very human-centric. And what I would like to tell you is that we have 3 brands currently. We have Huna, which is the premium elevated lifestyle brand. You might be familiar with the H residences around Al Wasl, the Fold, and we're opening soon across H, which is a cluster of F&B, interesting selection of restaurants, as well as 14 luxury villas. Last but not least, we have as well the Dubai Real Estate Center, which is a legacy of real estate portfolio, operates more than 3,500 units. Across various areas of Dubai, and the Hive Co-Live brand, which started in Dubai in JVC and currently expanding in Abu Dhabi, in Ras Al Khaimah, as well as 5 in Saudi Arabia.
Okay, let's talk about the plot of land that's over your shoulder.
Sure.
And a couple of kilometres away, that land around the Jebel Ali Racecourse.
Sure.
What exactly are you going to be building there? How big a residential community, for starters, is it going to be?
Sure. So to start with, it's a massive land. It's 5 square kilometers. It's very central location, as you know. So if you compare it for another central location, such as downtown Dubai project, it's 2.5 times the size of downtown Dubai. It's gonna be built around the historical Jebel Ali Racecourse, which remains at the heart of the project, and it's one of our important anchors. In terms of real estate, it's gonna cater for a variety of real estate, starting, of course, by a very nice residential community. So at our heart, our key pillars is community, is well-being, vibrancy, and sustainability. So
Okay.
We'll have a big chunk of residential projects.
We have had so many questions come in for you this morning, so I'm just going to put them all in front of you. You mentioned the racecourse there, and that's one thing that people are very curious to know.
Correct.
Will the racecourse stay?
Of course. The racecourse is a legacy. It started in the 90s, witnessed lots of interesting races and lots of wins. And of course, it's going to remain as a core anchor, as well as the lovely horses you see on site and the stables, which are going to remain there.
How many residential units will there be in this project?
So we'll unveil very soon. However, due to the big scale, we'll be building the project in sequences and phases. But what I can say, it's going to be a combination of villas and apartments. We're not going to go very dense in terms of scale because we want people to maintain this connection. Because as you know, Brandy, at the heart of this project, we have an outstanding park. And the scale is similar to the scale of Hyde Park in London.
Size is similar to Hyde Park?
Yes, in terms of size, it's the size of the Hyde Park in London. So this is, how big is the park? Even if you calculate, the green pockets around the entry boulevards, it's even larger than Hyde Park.
Okay, but the central park itself is around Hyde Parkish size?
Correct, which is in the center of the project, and around it is scattered our residential and community facilities.
You say that you don't want to be very dense. What about high? Will it be low-rise, mid-rise or high-rise for the apartments?
So I would say a combination between low-rise and mid-rise. We're not going to go very high, as well in terms of, having this connection with people, with nature, as well as not to overpopulate the site and create more traffic around it.
How many people do you eventually see living there?
I would say probably in the range of 50,000 people living in our communities. But we've done a very nice balance between community and destination, because as well we want residents of the UAE and Dubai and visitors to the UAE to come and enjoy as well the facilities we have. But in terms of living community, I would expect around 50,000.
One of the things that people have been very keen to ask this morning is where you're going to pitch it price point wise on the affordability scale.
Yes, I think there will be many messages coming soon in the market. Now we are at a stage where we just announced, the master plan, our collaboration with BIG, which is an outstanding, very talented firm, and we are in a stage where the design is currently under development, and lots of messaging will come soon at the price point. But what I can tell you is we're catering as well for different segments, because we are building a community and we want everybody to come and live in our community.
And that I think is one of the things that people are particularly keen to know. We've seen a lot of very high-end villas that have been launched in Dubai over the last couple of years. Will you also feature affordable housing? Are you going for the very, very, very high-end?
We're catering for different segments. Of course, from our positioning, the land is in the proximity of Emirates Hills, of Emirates Living, along Hessa Street. So yes, we're catering for ultra luxury, luxury, and other segments as well. So we're building a community, and we want everybody to come and enjoy living in this community. We're focusing a lot on social connections and health. From a health perspective, we're looking after F&B concept that really are around the well-being of customers, and we want to really be niche in this field.
So what else will you be popping in there for the community? I've got 2 minutes with you before the ad break. We know that you've got the French school there. We know Harrow is coming. What else do you need to place in the netways of schools, shopping centres in order to make this a community?
So it's a self-contained city within a city. So it will have everything you wish for, from, what you mentioned, schools. We'll have some hospitality components. We'll have restaurants. We'll have social clubs. We'll have a variety, even urban farms. Anything around well-being and around facilities that everybody would wish for. And last but not least, I would like to tell you that we're studying carefully the micro-mobility inside the site. So once you are inside, our site, you really don't need to commute by cars. You have lots of interesting means of mobility to take you to your schools or, to the facilities you would expect.
Will you have your own sort of small public transport network in there, trams? What are you looking at?
Correct. We're carefully studying this. Of course, we'll have lots of cycling around, and I know, there was lots of questions around the cycling activities. So the good news is that we have the cycling track along our site and within our site. So we have long cycling routes on the periphery that connects you from Jumeirah 3 across Sheikh Zayed, across our site all the way to Al Qudra, and within the park. Plus, we're studying lots of interesting means of mobility, very futuristic, that will be announced very soon as well.
Can you give me a quick 10-second hint of what we might... Is that a tram? Is that people movers? Is that individual?
We want to encourage people to walk, but of course, yes, we will have some interesting facilities and interesting pods that will take you as well for as well some quick access towards main facilities and water parks and you name it. But I'm not gonna mention everything now. Lots of things will be announced very early. But what I can tell you, it is the outstanding project. Lots of people mentioned in your studio the sweetheart of Dubai or the game changer, but it is really a dream project.
What kind of time frame are we talking about for this project?
Yes, so as you know, Brandy, it's a massive infrastructure project. So the good news is that we're starting cracking on with the site works next year. So as of next year, time is clicking, and as you know, the first phase will take. I think you had a guest here that was right in his assumption. So it will take around 3 to 4 years to have our first resident move on site.
When could we see the first units going up for sale?
So I think this is gonna be several announcements happening later on. But we're carefully now studying the dates, and you will hear about this in the next few months, I would say. But the time frame is not very far from now.
We've got a lot of questions in around the traffic this morning. We know that there are major works underway to help everything move along Hessa Street, and a lot of that actually already moving around the side of your project. How are you going to make sure that people can get in and out easily? What's the plan with the RTA?
Yes, so we're working closely with authorities. As you can see now, there's lots of work happening around the site. So the highways are expanding and just carefully studied in order to avoid traffic. As well, where we position the entrances of the different phases and the different accesses to site is very carefully studied in terms of to distribute the population around the several entrances of the site in order to avoid, these big congestions that you would see.
How many entrances could we see in and out of the whole project?
We have plenty of entrances, I would say around 8 to 10. However, once you are in and once you land in your residence or you come there, you really don't need to spend lots of time, moving around in your vehicle. So there is lots of, as I mentioned, lots of means of mobility that will take you, within the master community.
We've had questions in as well around wildlife and the protection of it. I know geographically, elevation-wise, your site is particularly interesting, and there are a lot of animals living there. Talk to me about how you're going to build this with the least disruption and, I guess, the most sustainability.
Correct. So this is one of the few sites in Dubai where we have more than 20 meters of level change. So once you are in, you have this nice breathe of air, and you really feel, you are in a resort, on a mountain resort. So we have lots of wildlife inside. As you rightly said, we have 50 or 52 different kinds of birds. We have some foxes, we have some gazelles, and we are carefully looking after maintaining this. This is why we have this big park in the center of the project, which will protect, the wildlife as well inside our community.
You mentioned water park earlier. You're building a water park?
We're thinking of all kind of facilities that will build social connections, that will be, that will cater for the residents. Whatever the resident will expect, we're considering. And we have injected beyond, water park, we have injected many anchor assets of what would people expect to have there. And just to make
Such as?
We'll be announcing soon, but such as entertainment of F&B. I mentioned to you about some playgrounds for the kids and others, a bit of hospitality components.
Are you in talks with hotel groups at the moment about hotels?
Not yet. We are still, we have carefully assigned some interesting locations, whether around the race course or within the park. And currently, we are arriving at a stage where probably we'll be soon knocking the doors of these operators that would fit our project.
Talked about residential, and we've talked about retail and F&B. Will there be any office component to this?
Of course. So we will have a fair bit of office because, what we want is people to live, work, and play inside our communities. So we will have a good percentage of offices and retail as well. The biggest component, of course, will be residential, which will occupy, the biggest built-up area. However, we have carefully studied, and we have different kinds of offices as well, in terms of business parks and some scattered offices around the community as well.
Is ARM going to build all of this themselves, or will you be bringing in other developers for any of the buildings?
Yes. So far, ARM is the master developer behind this project, and this is, how we're tackling it. But along the way, if there is any need for joint ventures or partnerships, of course, the management will explore and will be announced as well. But so far, it's ARM who's looking after this interesting development.
Okay, so a couple of months until we see the first residential community launched, am I right?
Yes.
And what are you going to do to make sure that you stagger the supply? Because supply and demand, of course, is the big equation here. 1 minute left with you. How do we make sure that we don't have too much coming on the market at the same time?
Yes. So, as I told you, there is different segmentation, different price point. And we're, not looking in terms of over-densifying the site.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning, and thank you to everyone who has got in touch with questions this morning. Elaine Kallas is the Chief Development Officer for ARM Holding. They are the people with the master plan, together with the Bjarke Ingels Group, to create that mega project on the land around the Jebel Ali Racecourse.